Planet Dolan.
From false accusations of cheating to walking in on a gangbang, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the worst ways we found out we were single. I'm Cookie, and today I'll be your narrator. This story was submitted by Warlady22. Spinal Palm had been dating his girlfriend, Princess Proton, for 5 years. They were in love and wanted to get married. So, he asked his family for his family stone so he could propose to her. One day, his mother met him at his job and gave him the ring and kissed him on the side of his mouth, which she always did. As soon as he got home, Spinal Palm was surprised to find Princess Proton's brother. He got up and punched him so hard that he lost 2 teeth and cracked a few others. "That's for cheating on my sister and breaking her heart," shouted her brother. A few days later, Spinal Palm learned the reason why Princess Proton sent her brother to his house. She went to see Spinal Palm the day his mother gave him the ring. When she saw them kissing, she assumed that he was cheating on her. After learning that the woman was Spinal Palm's mother, Princess Proton apologized, but they didn't get back together. This story was submitted by NicoleChan91. Mimi was 19 and pregnant with her first child. One morning, while she was going into labor, her phone rang. Her mum was in the room with her and her boyfriend, and she decided to grab Mimi's phone to see who was calling. She answered it, and Mimi watched as her mum's face went from irritated to pure rage. Her mum threw the phone at her fiancé and punched him in the jaw. Security intervened and told them to leave the property, but Mimi begged to let her mum stay for support. After her now ex-boyfriend left, her mum told her that one of his ex-girlfriends had called. Apparently, they had been hooking up throughout the entire relationship. Her ex-boyfriend lied by telling her that him and Mimi weren't together, but she found out about Mimi's pregnancy through one of his friends. She called to break up with him and to warn Mimi that she was pregnant with his child. It turned out that Mimi's ex had been dating 5 other women and was a father of 6 kids. Good grief. This story was submitted by JackTheKing925. When he was in college, Derek wasn't very popular. I can relate to that. One day, a random girl asked him if he wanted to be her boyfriend. Thrilled that someone finally noticed him, he agreed and they began dating. During that time, he noticed that his stuff would go missing and his dorm would be a mess. A couple of months later, Derek and his girlfriend went out for a walk. While walking, people that he didn't know suddenly began walking up with their phones, videotaping them. He was confused, but then was told that it was all just a prank and that she was only pretending to be his girlfriend. Yikes. This story was submitted by Fluffy Avocados. In high school, Melissa's locker was under one that belonged to a girl she didn't like. One day, her boyfriend of 3 years came up behind her while she was putting things in her locker at the end of the day. One of her boyfriend's friends came up and said, "Hey, did you ask her out yet?" Melissa didn't know who he had asked out, but was so mad that she started to shake. After his friends realized that she was right there, he slowly backed away. When Melissa got home, she got a long text from her boyfriend, saying that he had wished her the best and that he was dating the girl she didn't like. He even thought that it was the girl at the locker and not Melissa. Oof, these are painful to read. This story was submitted by Duke SR8. One time, James Shark and his girlfriend were supposed to meet up at a donut shop. He arrived at the designated time, but she never showed up. After waiting 3 hours, he went home. A couple of days later, he was chatting with a friend of his. His friend told him that he saw her drunk and with some other guy who was a well-known weed addict. They apparently broke a window at a gas station and were arrested. Shortly after, he got a text that said, "Roses are blue, fuck you, we're done." James Shark and his friend got a good laugh from the fact that his ex-girlfriend chose a druggie instead of him. The last he heard of his girlfriend was that she was serving 10 years in jail for trying to smuggle weed overseas. Dodged a bullet with that one. This story was submitted by AntiAutoGlitch07. When she was 12, Paprika didn't have a way to contact her boyfriend because she didn't have a phone and was on summer vacation. When summer ended, he approached her in the hall on the first day of school and said, "You've changed," before walking away. Paprika lost interest but was still hopeful that he would come to his senses. Then, one of her friends said,
"So, your boyfriend told everyone that you were a cheating little whore and a little bitch. Oh yeah, and he asked me out."
A month later, her boyfriend told her that he wanted to kiss her. But Paprika slapped him across the face and walked away. She felt like a real badass that day. This story was submitted by Sloppy Jacks. The worst way that Pringle found out he was single was back when he went to trade school. He had proposed to his girlfriend who, while pulling him close, said yes. She then whispered that she loved him. A month later, his fiancée told him about her new friend and showed him a picture of her with him. They were sitting next to each other. After closely examining the picture, Pringle asked her where her hand was. She replied, "Behind him on the grass." He knew that was total bullshit, but then decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. The next thing he knew, she began messaging him, asking him why he hadn't been giving her that much attention. Then she called him and said that she was done with him before handing the phone to her friend. He told Pringle to leave her alone and that she was happy with someone else. It turned out that she had been with that guy for a while. This story was submitted by Sarah XXX. One time, Snoopy was seeing a guy she had a major crush on since the day she first met him. It turned out that he had a girlfriend and was dating Snoopy behind her back. She talked to him about his other girlfriend, telling him that if he really loved her, he'll go back to her. But he decided to continue seeing Snoopy. His girlfriend got pissed and eventually broke up with him. Then, 3 months later, he became distant. Snoopy asked him what was wrong and he said, "I found out why my ex left me." After asking him why, her boyfriend yelled, "Because she thought I was cheating on her with you!" He went on to tell her that he never wanted to see her again, and Snoopy burst into tears and ran home. Her mother, who knew the whole situation, told her that she did nothing wrong and that it was all his fault. She told Snoopy, "He made the choice to cheat on his girlfriend and you didn't force him to do it." This story was submitted by Maheski. Hellbent had been dating his girlfriend for 3 years. He began to think something fishy was going on because she was hardly paying any attention to him, so he decided to take her out one night. He thought he could swoon her over with an expensive dinner, so he borrowed his parents' car and surprised her by appearing outside her house. During dinner, she appeared a little on edge. But other than that, everything was going well. While eating his steak, his girlfriend left to go to the bathroom. After having been gone for a really long time, Hellbent asked one of the female employees if she could check on her. To his surprise, the employee came out to say that the bathroom was completely empty. While figuring out what to do next, Hellbent finished his steak before paying the bill. When he got home, Hellbent saw a letter on his front door. The letter said that his girlfriend had died. At the time, he was in such shock that he didn't know what to think. So he decided to go to his girlfriend's house. When he got there, Hellbent saw her family having dinner and his girlfriend sitting next to a man he had never seen before. Angry, he smashed his fist against the door. His girlfriend's mother answered, and Hellbent rushed inside to the dining room table. His now ex-girlfriend introduced her new boyfriend to him, then told him that they had been dating for a few months. After finally figuring out what was going on, Hellbent stormed out of the house and never saw her again. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What was the most embarrassing thing your partner has ever done? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. This is Cookie, signing off. Goodbye!